Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sherwin Fullington, and I am the Director of Test Prep and Admissions for A-List Services. I'm joined here tonight with Samantha Pitcher from Lehigh University, as well as Anna Marie Smith, College Advisor for A-List. I want to welcome everyone to our webinar about Lehigh University. So again, I wanted to introduce Ms. Pitcher. She's the Assistant Director of Admissions at Lehigh University. Today we're going to be discussing distinctive qualities about the school, what the university looks like for what the university looks for in its candidates, and then also give you guys a chance to ask some questions so that she can answer them. Wanted to apologize tonight. Michael Binder from Your College Navigator was supposed to be joining us, but he's had a sickness and a death in his family, so he cannot be here tonight. But I did want to introduce who he is really quickly, since he is co-hosting this event. Your College Navigator, started by Michael Binder, who's the president and founder, is one of Long Island's premier college admissions services. Basically, they take a very innovative approach to college admissions in finding the right fit for more than 250 students every year for over the last 5 years. He does have a very close working relationship with A-List, and we do provide his services through our office every single year. He's been recently recognized through many different publications and invited to speak at over 70 libraries and other events through Long Island. He has a very innovative approach to finding the right fit for students, determining what sets kids apart, building on strengths through high school, and then working to identify colleges in which those students will thrive at over 40 different criteria. Beyond that, he helps also kids to weave compelling stories for their essays and for the rest of their application to bring past accomplishments and current experiences and aspirations to help them basically stand out from the rest of the crowd when they're applying to college. Every student has a plan, and based on that plan, that's going to be the thing that's going to help you and your students best get into the colleges of their choice. A-List, as you guys should know, hopefully, we are one of Long Island's premier SAT and ACT test prep companies. I'm not going to go through all the detail that we have here about who we are because we want to get to the star of the show. But we continue to provide quality SAT and ACT test prep through Long Island and the metropolitan area every year. Okay, so we'll skip this piece, and I'll turn it over to Ms. Pitcher so that she can start her presentation.
Great. Hello, everyone. I am Samantha Pitcher. Like was said earlier, I am the Assistant Director and the Territory Manager for Long Island, as well as Staten Island, Queens, in the metro area. What we'll be covering today, the most important things that we will be covering are our academics. Obviously, you want to know exactly what we are looking for in our students, but also what you will be learning if you decide to become a student at Lehigh University. We are also looking at student life. College for us is not just about the academics. Our students are incredibly involved in the campus, and we encourage that. The campus community. This is a big thing for us. We are a campus that loves to be a campus. We want our students to stay. In fact, 95% of our students stay on campus, and 99% of our students live on campus. So it is a big percentage of the first 2 years, and then 63 after that. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about Bethlehem and the Lehigh Valley. There are 6 different colleges and universities in the Bethlehem area, and we'd like to explain why Bethlehem and the Lehigh Valley are such an asset to you going to school. Opportunities after graduation. You have 4 great years with us, but the purpose is to, after graduation, get a job, move on, get a higher degree, and we'll talk about that. And then lastly, we'll talk about how to apply and what comes into effect with financial aid, all very important aspects of the university. I'm going to do an overview. We will have time for questions at the end, but I always like to say I'm not an expert on every single thing Lehigh when it comes to academics. But of course, I will love to speak with every one of you as much as I can about certain subject matter and help lead you in the right direction if for some reason I think that you need more inclination for the department or anything like that. We can discuss how that will go from there. So who we are, a very important aspect of college and finding the right fit for you is finding the college who fits who you are as a person. Our students have a lot of different key principles, and we're going to talk about 5 of them right now. The first one is interested in different perspectives. Our students flourish in an environment where they can learn from their life experiences. They come from diverse backgrounds with diverse opinions. We think that is very important to learning. We want you to have the different interests come from different places. We have 17% diversity, and 7% of our students are coming from international places. It's a great opportunity to learn from one another and also expand who you are as a person. That's really important to us. Second one is want an active hands-on education. We are not the kind of school where you are going to be lectured to. You are going to get hands-on experience through interactive learning. In the past year, we have a very generous donation from a very well-known alumni. He's actually the CEO of Urban Outfitters. He went to Lehigh. And how he kind of came up with Urban Outfitters was one day after graduation, he was with a friend sitting down and kind of thinking, what can we do with our degrees that we have? And together they came up with Urban Outfitters. So years later, he decided, you know what, our students deserve to have the same kind of experience of research as I did, and donated $20 million to something that we call the Mountaintop Project. The Mountaintop Project is an interactive environment where students cultivate different ideas and solve real-world problems. One of these problems that a student is currently working on that I found very interesting this summer when I got to go and interview some of the students about their projects where 5 students are using a 3D printer in order to create a prosthetic arm. This will allow for prosthetics to be made quicker, more efficiently, and especially for children because they are constantly outgrowing through their prosthesis and constantly have to get new ones. This makes it more affordable and easier for students to do. We also have sustainable farming efforts that are going on Mountaintop, as well as many entrepreneurial experiences. These are really important to us because we don't want to just have students do research on nothing. We want them to do research that they're passionate about. So not only do you get to do research as an undergraduate, but we pay you a stipend to do your research. And that is great, donated from the wonderful donation from Urban Outfitters as well as many other alumni. Committed to academic excellence and creativity. Obviously, we are a Tier 1 research university, but in that we are creative in how we work on our projects. We are not just there going through the same processes of the same research every single year. We are looking for students who have innovative ideas and who are looking at ideas in a creative way and problem solving in a creative way. This is really important to us, from our engineers to our business students to our arts and science students. We do have 3 separate colleges: our College of Engineering, our College of Business, and our College of Arts and Sciences. We do also have a College of Education, but this is on the graduate level. So many of our students start out with us and graduate in 5 years with a master's in education, as well as their bachelor's in arts, sciences, or their degree in business. We also are looking for students who are going to make a difference. Serving the greater community and the greater good is very important to us at Lehigh. We have such a wonderful community that we love to give back to. From the small things of, we have a middle school directly off our campus that is completely sponsored by Lehigh University. This allows students to have access to many different experiences they would not get to in the public school system. And we are encouraging our students to get involved from tutoring to coaching to being there on an everyday level to serve the community. We have many different opportunities locally, nationally, and internationally that our students make a difference in. And last but not least is involved in the local community. We want active members. In fact, we want active members so much at our school that we have decided to end our classes at 4 p.m. Unless you have a nighttime lab, all classes end at 4 p.m. in order to allow you to do other things on campus than just your academic study. So whether it's getting involved in those clubs or getting involved in all the activities we have on campus, we highly encourage that. Our students are so committed to academic excellence and creativity that some of our students thought, my favorite book is Harry Potter, but how much do you think it would cost to go to Hogwarts for a year? So they broke it down, just like you'll get a broken down bill for college. They broke down what it would cost to go to Hogwarts for a year. Oops, sorry about that. They did the cloak, the wand, how much it would cost to board, how much it would cost to dine there. And our students came together with about $42,752 a year it would cost to go to Hogwarts, according to our students. As well as we had an excellent student who was on Shark Tank. I was just watching Shark Tank, and it was a rerun, and it came on, and it was a student who created this jewel. It was a project for school to create something that would be innovative and help an everyday person. This jewel goes in coffee, so when it's piping hot, you put the jewel in, and it'll bring it to its perfect temperature so that you can drink it. Also, with drinks that are too cold, it brings it to the perfect temperature to kind of break it down or bring it up to the coldness. You know, you got a soda off of a warm soda. You can put it in there and it brings it up to the perfect drinking temperature. And this was so innovative that 3 different of the sharks were competing over who was going to give them the best deal. And she did get a deal and is currently producing it based off of just a school project. So our students aren't doing it just on a student level, but on a very diverse level. Personal attention is incredibly important to us at Lehigh University. We do not want a school with 500 kids in a lecture hall. We're not going to get personal attention. So with a student-to-faculty ratio of 10-to-1, our students are actively involved with their faculty. Our faculty are not just there for their classes and class time, but they are actively working with students outside of the norm. They have office hours, but they are faculty advisors for clubs and organizations. They are inviting students to have lunch with them in the faculty dining room. And they are very big on having students help them with research. Being a Tier 1 research university lends to so much research, not only for our graduate students, which is traditionally where you see a lot of research take place, but our undergraduates have such a high rate of getting research projects. And this is really based off of the open and exciting personal attention that comes with the love of learning that all students and faculty have of Lehigh. A great thing also is the mentorship. Our faculty are not there to just teach you. They are there to mentor you and bring you to the new level of being references for graduate school or references for a job. And that really lends to wonderful relationships inside and outside of the classroom. We are a small enough school with a little under 5,000 students that you will see familiar faces every day, but you will also constantly be meeting new people, which will allow for a very personal effect. Our average class size is 27. We really try to keep our classes small so that you get that time with your professor one-on-one. Some of our classes in the upperclassmen can go as little as 7 students, but that's a great opportunity for you to really sit and learn with your professors and your fellow students. I talked about applying to our colleges. When you are applying to Lehigh University, you are applying to the university as a whole. While your major may be or will be in one of the 3 colleges, you are not necessarily applying to one college or the other. Coming in undecided is okay for us. If you do come in undecided, you are automatically enrolled to the College of Arts and Sciences. We have a very flexible program of switching. Some students come in thinking they definitely want to do business, and they get here and it's just not the right thing for them. And we understand that, and we are totally flexible. We help our students, once they are here, easily switch between any of the 3 colleges, and the deans of those 3 colleges have worked out a wonderful program. As you can see on the slideshow, 1 in 5 students will switch colleges while studying with us. And with 70% of students nationwide switching majors, we understand that we need to be flexible. There's no need to reapply if you decide to switch schools, which is really nice. Some colleges will make you literally reapply to the university if you decide to switch colleges or switch majors. That is not how we work at Lehigh, which lends to a very high retention rate and our students staying with us and being very happy with how flexible we are. With that being said, we are also a part of LVAIC, which is those 6 colleges within the Lehigh Valley that if you would like to take a course that maybe we don't have, a course in photography, we are mostly digital photography at Lehigh, and so if you'd like to take a photography class in something else, you could take it at Moravian or Muhlenberg or DeSales, which are in the area, and really lend students to that flexibility and that interdisciplinary study with not just their own college, but the 6 other colleges in the nation, in the Lehigh Valley area, which really lends to many different programs. We have many, I do have about 4 different programs that work with direct admit. We have a direct admit program for medical school to Drexel. You do need a 1350 on your SATs, just critical reading and mathematics, in order to be admitted into that program, but it is a wonderful program with direct admit right into medical school. Once you get through our process, we send you to Drexel, and then Drexel does the final admittance of that program. We also have a program with UPenn for pre-dental, and numerous other schools, one for optometry, and one other program as well, which we are think is a very beneficial option for students if they definitely know what they want to do coming in, because you're never going to have to reapply. You're always going to be in those programs. With that flexibility comes our interdisciplinary studies. For us, it's real. We believe that today we need to learn to integrate information from all kinds of sources to connect the dots in order to solve complex problems. Like I said, being innovative and being creative problem solvers, we want to let you be interdisciplinary, meaning you may be able to do majors in 2 different colleges. We have 3 programs for this. We have numerous different students who study all kinds of different subject matter. One of our programs is, we call it IBE, which is our interdisciplinary between business and engineering. So that works as students can do a double major, partly in engineering, partly in business, to build those bridges. We also have IDEAS, which is engineering in our College of Arts and Sciences. Lots of students ask me, what could that be? I had a student who was a theater major, but also an engineer. So she was in the IDEAS program, double majoring in theater and engineering, because she wanted to not act on Broadway, but wanted to build the sets and innovative design for the fashion and the costumes on Broadway. So she did an interdisciplinary major and actually did do an internship here in New York City this summer to build on her resume for that, and was a part of our Mountaintop Project. We also have a computer science and business student, options for our students. So it's a computer science and business built together in an interdisciplinary way. We are very flexible on double majoring in 2 different colleges, as well as majoring and minoring in 2 different colleges. A lot of our students do minor, which makes it very flexible to kind of fit all of your interests together into one format. We have many different honors programs. We do not have one large honors program for our entire college. That makes us unique. We have programs like Eckerd for our College of Arts and Science students, and then 2 different honors colleges for both our business students and our engineering students, which really lends to very specific and very interesting honors programs and opportunities to be a part of those honors programs. A very interesting also interdisciplinary study that we had is we actually had a product development program, which is part of our IBE program with business and engineering, to help Gentex, which is the world's leading helmet providers of military, firefighters, and they actually asked our students to help improve their visors. So this is something that a company came to us and asked us to help with through our wonderful engineering and business students to find a new way to market as well as improve those visors. So not only are we doing programs that students are interested in, but we're really expanding into many different fields that allow our students to have real-world projects to put on their resumes. Our global perspective. Many schools, almost all these days, have study abroad. We do have study abroad, and it is a very active part of our campus. But Lee Iacocca, who is an alumni, who was an innovator at Ford, he was a big creator of the Mustang, and actually was part of the Chrysler revival back in the day. Lee Iacocca came to us and said, we really want these students to have international perspectives. And he said, I am willing to help with that. And he started a scholars program which creates study abroad experiences, not only where you just go abroad and study, but you're doing internships, doing co-ops, doing global perspective, whether it's service or outside of the classroom experiences while they're there. And these are scholarships funded by Lee Iacocca himself. Last year, we had 40 students on these scholarships due to such interest and the ability to. We're going to have 90 different scholarships for students to be able to do this program. This allows for cross-cultural teams, and really when you're saying you have an international business experience, You really do. You're going out there, you're doing things in the international business. Students, we have a connection with the UN, which allows for a lot of our students who are interested in international relations to also be a part of this wonderful cross-collaboration that comes with globalization and cooperation when you're globally studying. We also have Lehigh on Location. I encourage students who are interested in studying abroad to look at this. This is a blog on our website that you can look and see what students are doing while they're studying abroad, where they are studying abroad, and what they are experiencing when they are abroad. We have students from 50 different countries represented on campus, which leads into our diverse campus. We think having such a diverse campus with 70% diversity, with 7%, I wish 70, 7% diversity from 50 different countries really allows our students to expand their worldliness and really become global citizens. This world is only becoming more and more global and more of a melting pot, and we want our students to have that. It enhances social development. I had a student who had a roommate from China who taught her Mandarin part-time on the side while she was in school. And she got it hands-on from someone who I don't think she probably ever thought her roommate would be from China. And she really got to experience new things through this global expansion of our campus. Through this global expansion, we have so many different things that come in, but we are also diverse as in where our students are coming from. We always joke we have students from 49 different states in the union, which means we're not represented by one state, which is North Dakota. That's the only state for some reason we don't have any students from. For some reason that seems to be a very big thing for them. North Dakotans love to stay in North Dakota, but I'm so lucky to have New Yorkers who want to come out and expand and see new things. And so we are very diverse in that way, and we are building every year. We've gone in the past 5 years from having under 10% diversity to over 17 and growing every year. And it enhances self-awareness, your knowledge base, and it prepares you for the global society that this world is. And we're very excited by having all of these options. One thing that isn't so diverse about our campus is how much school spirit we have. We are very, very proud of being the Mountain Hawks. We are a Division I school with premier programs in football, wrestling, basketball, many different subject matters. We have a great rivalry between Lafayette College, which is also in the Lehigh Valley. We have a week called Lehigh Week. This is where our students play in a rivalry, a sports rivalry, and there's a whole week where the band comes and interrupts your class. We have pep rallies, we have a bonfire, everything that you can expect that we are really getting our students involved in. Tradition is so huge with us. The Lehigh Lafayette football rivalry is actually the most played football rivalry in all of college sports. And this year will be our 150th anniversary game, and it's actually being played at Yankee Stadium this year. We are really excited, and tickets sold out between Lehigh and Lafayette students and alumni in about 5.5 minutes. Tickets are selling for $2,000 on StubHub right now for students to go to these games, and they are very excited about this. Tradition is also very big with us. Our wrestling program is one of the premier in the Northeast. We play schools like Iowa, and big wrestling schools come to us, and we really have a wonderful team. But with that also comes our traditions. For any Lehigh alumni that may be listening, they may know what the middle picture is with the beds. Back in the 1800s, one of the first engineering projects that our engineers did were build beds. And somehow they thought it would be a good idea to build these beds and then push them down our mountain. We are literally on a mountain. We thought maybe not such a good idea in this day and age with insurance and different problems that could happen. So now Lehigh gives us beds. We have students and faculty who run this. In fact, the admissions office ran one last year. Karen, who is our coordinator and who welcomes you when you come to a visit on campus, put a helmet on and held her rosary and was on the bed. And we did win for our hurdle of staff, so that was always very exciting. In fact, one of our faculty is here right now. One of our staff is on one of these pictures. As you can see in the top that's our Mountain Hawk, our wonderful mascot. And that is the opening of March Madness, basketball season with Midnight Madness. And obviously as March Madness comes in, we start doing more of that. It gets bigger and bigger every year. And then down you can see the little elves and Santa getting excited for the turkey trot. This is a run every year that we have. You run up the mountain, straight up the mountain, and straight down the mountain. But it is a great spirited run. Some people take it very seriously, and some people dress like elves. It is the week of Lehigh Week, so it is a big start of the Lehigh Lafayette Rivalry Week. And Sarah, who works in our office, is actually the 4-time defending staff and administration champ for the turkey trot. So we are very excited to have someone who represents our interests so well. Boredom is definitely not part of our curriculum here. We have 150 different clubs and organizations on campus. This is hugely important to us because, like I said, our students are not just there to get an education. While that is also very important, we want you to learn who you are, experience new things, and grow as students while you are with us. We have jazz bands, chorus, symphonies, marching band, and these have their own special scholarships. Many people think, business, engineering, arts, and sciences, they don't really think of us as a music school. Many of our students have a love for music and decide, I don't necessarily want it to be my major, but I want to be involved in music while I'm at Lehigh, and we highly encourage that. So we have scholarships for non-majors in the music, theaters, and in the arts to allow us to expand. We have a wonderful theater program. It is not musical theater, it is all theater. So we have mostly plays, not musical theater. Usually about every 3 years we'll have a musical theater program so that every student gets to be involved in one of those. Our latest musical was Urinetown. And our students are very actively involved. We have many students who have gone on to live in LA and New York and build their theater resume all over. Like I said, with ending classes at 4, this allows our students to be able to study, be able to go to class, and be able to be involved in all the wonderful aspects that we have on campus. Something that is very big at Lehigh is our Greek life. In the fall, we have about 35% of our students who are involved in Greek life. Come the spring, it's closer to 40% because we do make our students do 1 semester non-Greek affiliated. We think we want our students to get involved in Lehigh, see what works for them, and then rush and see if a sorority or fraternity is for them. Obviously, if you decide not to do that, you're still in the majority with over 60% of our students not being involved in Greek life. However, that is a picture right there with the little baby pool of Greek life. I thought for the longest time that was water. That is actually green jello. We have a very fun atmosphere at Lehigh, and we encourage our students to get involved. I'd already mentioned the marching band. You can see it up in the one corner. Our students are very actively involved. And down you will see our community garden. A huge aspect of Greek life is the service aspect and the philanthropy. Most student organizations of Greek life have their own organizations, their own philanthropy that they are involved in. They are also very involved in the Bethlehem community. And we have a community garden that a lot of our Greek life is very involved in, as well as the community at large, to build a green community right there on our campus. So across the street, this is something that I'm very passionate in talking about, is where we are. We are located in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Bethlehem steel was very important in the making of this country, and they were located in Bethlehem. And this city really came up and coming with Bethlehem steel. But something that's really unique about Bethlehem is 2 things. I always like to say we're a foodie kind of place. If you are interested in good food, lots of good food opportunities, we have lots of them on the north side and the south side of Bethlehem. Right off campus, something that's really popular is the goose or goosey. This is where you can go and get pre-made all these sandwiches. There's a special secret menu for these. And it's kind of a local Lehigh legend. Tony, who runs the Goose, is legend on campus. He gets to know you. He gets to know what you like. And our students really love going there. We have local restaurants like La Lupita, which is my favorite Mexican restaurant in Bethlehem. It is on the south side and walkable to campus. Most things in Bethlehem take your gold card, which is your ID, that can also be used as a debit card. So you can go off campus and use money that is already built into your dining plan to eat at these wonderful restaurants. We are also known as the Christmas City. For obvious reasons, we are Bethlehem. So Christmas is a wonderful time to be there. We have Chris Kindle Mart. During October, we have Celtic Fest. And the biggest thing is that the arts are huge in the Lehigh Valley. We have Music Fest every summer, which is the largest free music festival in the entire country. It is non-gated. You can come in. The only thing you are paying for are the bigger concerts. This year, All-American Rejects were there, Sheryl Crow, Jason Derulo, and our students were really expanding themselves, and they get to go and you buy tickets, and it's kind of like a state fair of food. All the fried food you can get in all of the local places, including our wonderful crepe place on our side of campus, really encourage many of our places to go there and be a part of what we are having. A big thing here that I'm looking at is the steel stacks. This is a brand new area that was opened up that has concerts. It has a mall. During the U.S. Open, it actually had one of the largest public free showings of the soccer games while they were on there at the World Cup. Which was huge and very great to us. And you'll notice the orange color, and you can actually see the Bethlehem steel stacks behind there. The orange color matches the orange color of the Golden Gate Bridge, because not only was that designed by a Lehigh student, the construction company that made the Golden Gate Bridge were also Lehigh alums. And Bethlehem steel was used on the Golden Gate Bridge. So we thought bringing a little bit of the Lehigh and the Bethlehem history right there to show you the connection worldwide that Bethlehem has with the world. We were also in the first Transformers. If you remember, they were in Japan. Bethlehem was actually Japan. All those steel stacks you saw were actually Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, not Japan. We also have local minor league teams like the Iron Pigs for the Phillies and the Flyers minor league team in the Lehigh Valley called the Phantoms. First Fridays are really big in Bethlehem as well. Every first Friday of every month, all the stores are open late. They have specials, live music, and it really allows to build that community and go out there and see all that Bethlehem has to offer our students. So time well spent. After 4 years at Lehigh, you want to know where you're going to go next. There's a lot of time well spent at Lehigh University. Our students, we have about a 97% of our students who we polled said that they have either a job, they are going to further schooling in their own field. So they're not just getting jobs anywhere, they are getting jobs where they have decided to major in, or they are going on to further school. That 97% was with 90% return rate on our survey. That's really important. Lots of schools say they have a 100% placement rate or a 99% placement rate, but in the little box below it'll say 7% of our students replied. That's a pretty small amount. We are very lucky to have 90% of our students apply and 97% of them in their intended field. With that being said, we are also ranked as 6th in the nation for mid-career salaries. That means when you are coming out the middle of your career, you are getting the highest paid. We are the 6th school in the nation that has the highest mid-career salary pay grade. This is something that lots of parents are interested in with time well spent. At Lehigh University, if you graduate with a 3.75 GPA, you can become a presidential scholar. This means Lehigh University will pay for a 5th year to allow a student to complete a double major or to continue on with their master's studies. So you have a free year of graduate school, which really allows for students to build on their education at obviously a very reduced rate of it being free that Lehigh pays for. Sarah, who I mentioned before, as our 4-time administrative and staff champ for the Turkey Trot, was a presidential scholar. She said it made all the difference in allowing her to make her dreams come true and make her 5th year and her master's degree so much more affordable. So as you give to Lehigh, Lehigh wants to give back to those students who have worked very hard and help them with the next transition in their life. Our Lehigh family. A huge thing that comes with our Lehigh family is our wonderful alumni network. We have over 70,000 active alums that are there for our students. One of my favorite stories was a freshman who decided, I want to get my foot on the ground. I want to try as hard as I can to make sure I make alumni connections. So during her first month at school, she built up a list of the local alums to where she was from and called or emailed all of them. She had a list of, I think it was almost, close to 500. She contacted all of them and she said every single job, internship, co-op opportunity, mentorship that she has had was because of an alumni representative that she reached out to as a freshman. This lends to so much development for our students and allows our family to stick not just when you are with us, but for the rest of your life. We have so many networking opportunities on and off campus. I myself have experienced the passion of Lehigh alums. I have my Lehigh sticker in the back of my car. I was at a stoplight. I had a guy honk at me, asked me to roll down my window, and we talked about Lehigh for the 2 minutes we were waiting for the light to change because he was just so passionate about being an alum and giving back to the community and was so interested in talking to somebody else who had such a passion for Lehigh. We have a very big alumni community in the New York metro area. So coming from Long Island, there are many students and many alumni who are living right here who want to reach out to you and make you a part of the family. So now that we talked about all of what we can offer you, what we're looking for in a student, what our students have, how do you apply to Lehigh and how does it work? We are a school with very strict deadlines. Deadlines are to be remembered. I always like to say, write them on your hand, write them on your book, write them on your calendar, tattoo it on your forehead, whatever you need to do to remember these deadline dates. We are an early decision school. That does mean that we have 2 early decision dates. What early decision means is, does that mean you know you want to go to Lehigh? Lehigh is the one place that if you get in, you have decided, I'm going. With that comes obviously a big commitment. And so we also have regular decision. Our first early decision comes November 15th is our deadline to apply. You will hear from us by the middle of December about your acceptance. If you are accepted during early decision, you are legally required to come to Lehigh University. You cannot look at any other schools. You have to withdraw your applications from other schools. You are coming to Lehigh if you are accepted early decision. We also have an early decision 2, which allows for students to think about it a little more, visit other campuses, maybe get some early action acceptances before the early decision 2 date. And if you apply by January 1st for our early decision 2, you will hear from us by around the middle of February. And if you decide to apply regular decision, which is when a majority of our students apply, you will hear from us by mid-March. Regular decision is just very traditional. You apply by January 1, and you will hear from us, like I said, by mid-March about your acceptance. Our students are looking what our middle 50% is of where our students lie. So middle 50% means that 25% of our students fall below this range and 25% of our accepted students fall above this range. But our middle 50% of students for ACT and SAT, for SAT we only look at the 2 sections of critical reading and mathematics, is a 1300 to a 1460, and then a 29 to a 33 composite score on the ACTs. We are a super score school, so we will super score your tests. For AP, we are a 4 or a 5 when you're looking at AP tests. We definitely look at APs on your transcript as well as we evaluate them for class credit. And if you go to an IB school, a 5 to a 7. What will happen is you will send those tests in to us and the registrar's office will contact you about what classes those count for if you have reached our criteria for that. We are a common application school. This makes it really easy for you, but we do have a supplement of 2 essays that you can choose to write one of. We really like the supplement because it allows you to give us another writing sample, not just your essay that you send us for the common application. 2 recommendation letters are required for us at Lehigh from a guidance counselor or a teacher. However, if you have someone who you work for or someone who you do service with, those are really important aspects that we love to read as well. Please feel free to send us those. I always say between 3 and 5 recommendation letters. I did have a student one year send me 15. It was a lot, and he was great after 5. So make sure that you send us the best of the best because we do read every single piece of literature you send us, from your essay to your recommendation letters to going in and fully analyzing your transcript, seeing that transition from freshman to sophomore to junior year, seeing the classes that you've decided to take, seeing the classes that you are taking senior year, whether we have grades for them or not yet your first semester, we still can see what classes you've taken, how you've challenged yourself. And interest is very important to us. I will be visiting Long Island for about 4 weeks. This year. I will be visiting many high schools in the area, and I would love to meet with all of you. As I am the counselor for the region, feel free to email me, call me, reach out. I want to develop those relationships because interest is very important to us. If we know you are very interested in us, it helps us when looking at your package of your application to say, not only did the student come to visit campus, met Sam at a college fair, have emailed her a couple times, sat through her webinar, all those things are extremely important to us in noticing what interests. So all of you have taken the first step at showing us how interested you are at Lehigh University. Financial aid. With financial aid, we gave out $63 million in grants and scholarships last year. I always like to talk about deadlines. Please go on our website and look at deadlines. The biggest reason that students usually miss out on financial aid is due to the fact that they miss deadlines. We are a school that asks for a lot of information, but that is so that we can come up with the perfect package for you as a family. We ask for the CSS profile. We ask for the FAFSA. We ask for your tax returns. We have our own worksheet because we really want to come up with the most up-to-date information to give you the best package that will work for your family. We know that college is expensive and we want to work with you to make it financially affordable. We are very need-based in our aid, and we encourage students and parents to go on the net price calculator. The great thing about this is right now you can put in kind of what you think it looks like, and it'll come out with a kind of a mock package of what it'll look like with you. This is on our website, and I encourage you to go online and see that. With that being said, Lehigh University last year was ranked 12th for return on investment. So that means the money that you're putting in, out of all the schools in the nation, over 4,000, we were voted as 12th as what you will get back from your education. So the job prospects, the salary that you will come out with, everything that we are giving to you and that you are paying for, you will get back that investment. It will be the investment that you will really get to have the rest of your life and know that you did everything that you could and the school tried to do everything they can. A big thing that is different about us is we love to talk to you about financial aid. So if you contact me, say we want to talk about financial aid, I will find you your financial aid counselor, and they will even have conversations with you now before they have anything to kind of talk about how it all works for you. So next steps before we kind of get into questions, things that you can do. Please come to campus. If you have not already, we would love to have you on campus. We have a wonderful information session. This is it. So you did already see the information session, but come and take a tour. Come with students. Go online. We have YouTube videos, blogs, all kinds of different things and resources online to show you who we are, what we're looking for, and what's so great about Lehigh. Like I said, keep in touch. I would love to hear from you. I want to have those communications. And also, you're online. We know you're online. We're online too. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, at Lehigh Admissions. All those kinds of things we want to get involved in. And we have a Tumblr as well to talk about all our different programs. As well as apply. Applying is really important. I told you about the deadlines. Feel free to reach out to me. So now that I kind of gave you the background on who we are, I'm going to look to see, you can type in, I guess, on your box any questions that you have.
Yeah, this is Anna Marie Smith again. I work at ALS as a college advisor, and we're just going to fill any questions you have. Feel free to type them in, let us know, and we're happy to answer them.
No questions. Doesn't look like we have any quite yet.
We'll give it a few minutes, and if anyone has questions, we're happy to answer them.
I don't know which one. I kept going back and forth between the two. We had a question about majoring in accounting. Sure, I can tell you a little bit about our 5-year program. And the state of Pennsylvania is much like the state of New York. You do not need to necessarily have those 150 credits in accounting after you graduate. You can have it in any subject matter. How it is you run through our business program with the intent of CPA. You will have that intent as a freshman, and we will build that into your schedule. We have a wonderful CPA program, one of the top in the Northeast. Our students are getting to choose what classes they like. Many students are taking extra elective classes, maybe some classes in finance they didn't get to take as accounting majors. During that process, we have prep for the CPA. Our students are starting to sit for the CPA. While you are doing your credits, you can start to sit. So we have that availability. Our accounting program is wonderful. If you would like to contact me, actually the director of the dean of the School of Business is also part of the accounting department, and she told me anytime you would love to talk to students about the program. It is a wonderful program that really lends to many different students coming into the program. We do have tours on the weekends. Tours on the weekends are usually throughout the school year, so we will have some starting in the next couple weeks. There's numerous different times. Feel free to go on our website. You'll have a place that says Visit Us. Feel free to click on that. You'll see a presentation as well as get a tour from one of our students of our beautiful campus. And we even do have them on football Saturdays, so you can really see what campus is like alive and there.
I think that may be all the questions.
Okay, great. Like I said again, Samantha Pitcher. Feel free to look me up on the website and email me or call me anytime. It was great to speak to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Samantha, and thank you guys for tuning in. We do have a survey that's going to pop up whenever we finish the webinar, so if you have an extra minute or two to fill it out, that would be so helpful. Otherwise, have a great night.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I miss getting information sessions.
I know. Oh.